two-part question. Why should we have a prayer life, or why should we develop a prayer life? And a lot of people are going, okay, maybe I'm convinced that I have to have a prayer life. How in the world do I go about doing stuff? Because we're Americans. We like to okay, tell me the steps. What do I need to do?
Well, okay, excellent. And I'm going to say two parts. One, I want to respect everybody's individuality, right? So we all have different personalities. We all have different vocations, and we all have to just kind of understand that my approach and someone else's approach may be a little different, but we all get to the same thing. And the primary reason why we want to develop a prayer life is because we want to establish a relationship with Jesus Christ. That's first and foremost. Prayer is not necessarily just a checklist that we do during the day, although sometimes we need to schedule it in order to make that happen. But prayer, first and foremost, is all about our relationship with Jesus Christ. And the way we do that, the way we establish that, and the way we build that up can be very gradual. I can recount some experiences from my own experience that it was kind of very gradual, and it just developed into something really good for me. So what I have is I have a little orarium during my day. Started in the seminary, really started in college a little bit, where we're in college, we have to manage our time well. And then when we're in seminary, we manage our time well with respect to prayer and entering that into our day. And now, as a diocesan priest, just like people in the world, we have to make time for that prayer, because sometimes in a parish, when you're organizing many different things and being involved in different things, and different people come into your day, into your life, and with problems and with needs, and you have to schedule that prayer. So the way we develop prayers is by scheduling it. So for me, I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do in the morning, some people probably rise earlier than I do. I wake up at about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I pray my breviary for about a half an hour. And I prepare also the readings for the Mass. My daily Mass is at 8:15. And so although I'm celebrating Mass publicly for people, I also that's also part of my own personal prayer life to do Mass every single day and receive the Eucharist every day. And then after that, I do a Thanksgiving after Mass. And now that we're doing COVID church, I don't necessarily do my Thanksgiving in the church always. I'm sometimes disinfecting. And then after the disinfecting, after the Mass, I do prayer Thanksgiving. And then at some point during the day, a rosary and a Divine Mercy Chaplet. And in the evening, I do go back to my breviary, do evening prayer, and then close it off with night prayer. And at about 5 o'clock, I strive to do this every day. I have a Eucharistic Holy Hour, and the Eucharistic Holy Hour, that's with the Blessed Sacrament exposed, praying in silence, whether I'm meditating on Scripture or have some spiritual read, or just sitting silently, or thinking about the day, praying for people as I was and meditating on how the day went. That's also very important as well. And so the way they kind of built up for me was, and I think that what everybody can do during the week, that may sound a little intimidating to do every day for people, but St. Francis de Sales says that we need to think about what our prayer life ought to be for each vocation. And so I think that what any lay person can do is go to Mass on Sunday, and that's about an hour to do that, and then prepare during the week. And the ways that we can kind of prepare during the week for Mass on Sunday is maybe set some time aside on a Wednesday evening, maybe do a holy hour once a week, or if it's not possible to do a holy hour once a week, maybe do a holy half an hour. Meditate on the readings, first reading, second reading in the Gospel, and just maybe kind of have some sort of idea of what the Lord's kind of speaking to us in that readings. And so that's a little process called Lectio Divina, and we approach that reading, and then we kind of approach Mass with better mindset. We can approach Mass, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of chaos, but we know what the readings are about. We know what we want to try to get out of the Mass. We know what we want to bring to Mass. It's kind of like the analogy that I use sometimes is kind of like when you go to the movies, you think about like what previews and that kind of thing, and what the movie's going to be about. You know what the characters are, you know the plot, so to say. But don't read too many reviews, because that can give it away. You don't want to do too many reviews, but you at least know what it's going to be about, and then you go into the movie with a certain set of expectations. They either live up to them or they're not. But with Mass, what I find, we do a sort of similar process. We get to know the readings, apply it to our life, for me, obviously for anybody, like going to mass, that kind of thing, not only is it kind of like a movie, but our experiences at the mass, hopefully it always exceeds our expectations, because we're going to go there and meet with God and pray with God and pray with the people.
Well, yeah, that's a good way, because it's one I find where in doing that, like trying to look at the readings beforehand on mass, you have your own idea of like where you get out of it, of how God's speaking to you, and then you get up and expound on the homily, and I'm like, I didn't think about it in that way. Or it's like, oh, I didn't catch that nuance, and then it hits you a little bit different, and then it maybe sinks in. But I do agree with you on the getting up like the first thing in the morning. Like that's, as men, I feel like that's one thing that's, and the easiest way to do it, because if you're a layman, either single or married, if you go, I'll do it later, whatever it may be, it's not happening. That's just my 2 cents. Because I'm going to actually do one on